Tonight, the round of 16 begins. The survivors of the destructive qualifying round and wildcard rumbles now face the single elimination stage. With everything on the line, one chance to move on to the next round and no room for error, the bots are ready, the box is locked, the lights are on, and it's robot fighting time tonight on BASHBOTS, the round of 16. Hello everybody and welcome back to BASHBOTS. I am your host, the Dominus Ignis, and at last we have reached the round of 16. Last episode we saw 4 teams make it in through the wildcard rumbles, setting up the field for the single elimination stage. Tonight we will see half of the robots battle. The 16 remaining robots have been seeded 1 through 16 by the selection committee, so let's take a look at the bracket. Each quadrant of the bracket has one of the top seeded, most deadly robots in it, and there is no robot scarier and more powerful than our number 1 seeded robot, the deadly undercutter of Sparks. On the other side of the bracket we can see the number 2 seed, the internal combustion engine powered Firewave, with the number 3 seed vertical spinner Clank Requiem, and the number 4 seed, the powerful pneumatic flipper of Polis. It's time for our first match of the night between the number 1 seeded Sparks and the number 16 seed Deathstalker. Let's take a closer look at how these 2 robots made it to the round of 16. Sparks' first fight was against Catch, who he absolutely decimated. The selection committee decided this performance was strong enough to give him the number 1 seed. And with no damage sustained in that battle, he is ready for this fight. Deathstalker hasn't had an easy path to this stage. He lost a close judge's decision to Sea Devil in the qualifying round and got sent to the wildcard rumbles, where he thankfully managed to escape with minimal damage, taking the judge's decision. The good news, he's still in the competition. The bad news, he has to face Sparks. Let's send it down to the Dan Beaver to break down the matchup.
After demolishing Cats for a brutal KO and gaining the number 1 seed, Sparks is set to look unstoppable as it begins to blaze through the bracket. Their first victim? None other than the wildcard of Deathstalker. After losing to Sea Devil in the battle before, but just managing to cling on to the championship hopes through the wildcard rumble, this faction will have to put up the upset of its life to be in with a chance. Will they manage the impossible? Only one way to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the UK, it's Sparks! In the blue square, from the United States of America, it's Deathstalker!
Okay, so the biggest threat with this fight I think is the anti-spinner wedge on the front. So he's probably going to use that to try and slow our weapon down and move us into the hazards. I'm going to try and keep the fight towards the center, see if we can use our reach to hit him in the more vulnerable arms or the sides.
My strategy with any spinner, more specifically horizontals, is just basically to rush in there and smash my face into him before he can get his weapon up to speed. Then I can direct him at the wall, hopefully pin him there, and then bring the tail down and hopefully drill wind.
Well, Deathstalker, the most experienced driver in the competition, but they've hardly impressed so far. Sparks goes in as the overwhelming favourite, the number 1 seed.
Sparks make Deathstalker the Deadstalker here, I wonder. There is the
Box rush, and there's the early damage, and this could be very, very worrying for the rest of the fight. Oh no.
Right, well, if we've lost the side claw of Deathstalker within the first 5 seconds, then the law of averages tells us that it'll be weaponless in the next 20. But Spark's actually up and over at the moment. Deathstalker, this is their moment to capitalise, and fair play to them, they were doing a decent job, but taking a big shot to the back, has that had an impact on their drive, I wonder?
Yeah, they're certainly swinging around here a lot. Unbalanced, but again, they unbalance Sparks itself. And I tell you what, bar that first hit, Deathstalker's doing quite well out here to survive, and it's trying to make its way into this fight quite handily. It does take a hit there, but it is suddenly trying to survive.
Only tumble time, but with some help from the floor flipper, they're back on their wheels.
Oh.
They lose another claw, that's major damage in terms of points, but it's not affecting their functionality.
Oh no, oh no, I think that claw's going to stop them getting back over. Oh dear, well.
They're back on their wheels, but at what cost? The claw is gone now, swerving, but flying is Sparks, the number 1 seed.
Yeah, we've only got a
They're
puck.
trying to keep this competitive, but we've reached the halfway mark. I didn't see it lasting this long.
No, me either. We've only got a puck of Deathstalker left out there, but it's a plucky puck that hasn't been finished off yet. Sparks just loitering around arena centre. Will it deliver this true KO blow?
No,
Oh, yes it will!
Every single component of Deathstalker is gone. Sparks, they bided their time, they took some big hits, they put themselves at risk, but Deathstalker doesn't exist. Here they were with their nice drive, but they lost the weapon in the first 6 seconds. And it was damage limitation. They did so well, but Sparks so reliable. Deathstalker needed to find a way to KO, or it was only a matter of time before the first seed moved on in this bracket. And just look at the KO blow here. I could watch that all night.
With a completely dominant fight, Sparks moves on to the quarterfinals. It's time for our second match. We will see the number 5 seed Tenderlove take on the number 12 seed Sea Devil. Let's send it down to the Dan Beaver to break down the matchup.
When a robot proves that it can walk the walk just as well as the builder says, it's always a reason to be excited for what they might achieve next. Case in point, Tenderlove. After showing it can certainly take on and take out dangerous horizontal spinners like Amethyst, people have latched onto this plucky lifter, saying that it could be a dark horse to go far, and the team certainly reflects this. Its opponent Sea Devil, who managed to pull off a minor upset against an incredibly experienced builder in the qualifiers before, will certainly have its work cut out for them. However, they have proved themselves against Dactyls before, so will a second time once again be the charm?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the United Kingdom, it's Tenderlove! In the blue square, from the USA, it's Sea Devil!
So what I have here is a hopefully anti-spinner configuration. I've got side panels, and I've instead of the forks, I've got a big flat panel. Made of fewer pieces, the panel is, and the side panels are ablative, so they'll take a couple of hits before coming off. It's all about driving. I need to get him in the right places. I need to drive correctly. I hope I do well.
My strategy for this fight is to take out his sign panel, so hopefully I can get to the wheel and then take him off so he can be immobilized.
Well, Tenderlove seeded 5th for this competition, despite their first round battle being a close judge's decision. They now have to be one of our favourites here.
Tenderlove may be the favourite here, but they are giving Sea Devil the respect they believe it deserves with that anti-spinner setup, replacing the Greats! And very interesting first exchange between the two, as Tenderlove now looks to slide underneath.
They got rid of the great and gave it an excellent because it's working perfectly so far. Oh, but maybe they need some kind of hooks on the top to stop them from going all the way under Sea Devil and coming out on the other side.
Yeah, it's certainly shallow. I mean, oh, big hit! I was going to say Sea Devil will be able to coast over the top, but it shouldn't be able to catch Tenderlove, but it certainly did there. And it's one of those support struts at the side of Tenderlove. Well, that's a good little swing over. Didn't quite complete an attack, though. At the moment, the favourite here is a bit on the back foot points-wise, you'd imagine.
Yes, I mean, it's a controversial seeding, I have to admit. Tenderlove at 5th, despite their previous fight being so close, so narrow, and a judge's decision to boot. But here, they're making Sea Devil look more of a D Devil, or even an E Devil, because Tenderlove has been controlling this one from the beginning, and the only danger they've been in is at their own hands. Sea Devil now stuck on the floor flipper, which is not closing.
What is happening here? That could set up Tenderlove for the killer blow! It's over! The Shreemex should help it here, Sea Devil. But Tenderlove could close in and follow through, but Sea Devil is back over again. Worrying moment for the full body spinner, though.
Yes, in terms of self-writing, somewhat of a B Devil. We like that action, Tenderlove crashing into the spikes, but just no big impacts from Sea Devil. And when you're fighting with a spinner, you know, you've got to sacrifice those potential control points to win on damage, and there's been little damage caused since that strip was taken away in the opening 30 seconds.
Certainly was, and it certainly has been a very cagey fight here without the cage of Tenderlove!
Oh! I'm trying to leave the cage! Is Tenderlove nearly hitting the ceiling there? One of these days we're going to see someone make it all the way up there. But Sea Devil doesn't really capitalise at all, and they're on the back foot again.
Yes, they are, and knocked up by the spikes there too. And as this fight draws on, we're still waiting for the true moment of decision here. This is going to be very tense and tight for the judges to decide. Sea Devil slowing now. Now this could be a chance for Tenderlove. Just needs to scoop it at the right angle and get it towards the wall. And nearly.
The wall.
It's suspended. It's suspended there.
Not the right kind of purchase to get them over the wall, but Sea Devil, they just make it down only after the fight is called. They survive to a judge's decision, but I don't feel it was that close in the end. This is the tail of the tape, of course. Sparks flying just from Tenderlove driving into the wall, but that was basically all we got to see of Sea Devil in those two big hits there. Otherwise, it was either Tenderlove attacking or Tenderlove threatening itself. Sea Devil certainly got those air miles, but when it comes to the judge's decision, maybe a bit of an F Devil.
The judges' results are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Tenderlove!
And winning via judge's decision, Tenderlove moves on to the next round. He will fight the winner of Polis versus Connection, which we'll see later tonight. It's time for the third fight of the night between the number 3 seeded Clank Requiem and the wildcard number 14 seed Wowplow.
Despite what you might think, luck is a genuine factor in this sport, and nowhere is that more clear than in the tale of Wowplow so far. While it did lose to Umi Ryu and gave a spirited performance in its rumble, it's only here because Temper Tantrum had to drop out. While this bulky machine may be here still due to pure luck, it's still a viable contender and it's ready to mark its name into the rock of BASHBOTS. Facing it is the 3rd seed, Clank Requiem, who made a bold start, destroying Honda's run into qualifiers, but now it faces a real challenge in the monstrous defense of Wowplow. Who will come out on top? Find out right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from Serbia, it's Wowplow! In the blue square, from Lithuania, it's Clank Requiem!
Basically, I know I can outwedge him. I'll just try to go full frontal assault and try to avoid getting outwedged. Basically, that's it.
I'm gonna get around to his sides and I'm gonna get him good.
And Wildplow fortunately back into the competition. They've lost twice in a row now. Will this be their first win against the third seed flag? Indeed.
This would certainly be a wow from the Plough if it can overcome Clank Requiem, which looked mightily impressive in round 1 against Hondatron.
And you know what? It is winning against Clank Requiem.
Whoa!
With another good flip, getting it over, but easily self-righting. That vertical bar spinner doing what it's there for, but the wedgelets not so much. And Wildplow launches another good attack.
Very interesting start, and Wildplow has paced itself well until that moment! And that could have
But
been
Clank
dangerous.
Requiem overextends and crashes into the wall. But Wildplow, you don't want to turn 270 degrees in front of the spinner, somehow gets away with it and delivers another flip. If they could catch up right now, they choose not to move at all, though. Oh.
Very interesting stuff!
Turning around,
What an
falls onto the
attack!
grinder.
Danger!
This is almost out. It's on the wall. Wildplow needs to finish the job, but they miss.
The number 3 seed here really in danger, really worried. Oh, spinning off. Back down again, but they need to do something here because they are really on the back foot, losing points all the time here, and that's a good attack to respond. Wildplow suddenly knocked into the air. Clank Requiem over the top. Are we going to see Clank Requiem getting ahead of steam in the second half of this fight? That's a good attack. That's another one.
The wheel and a big hit onto the grinder as well. If you counted the damage, then this is basically a good fight already. And the aggression continues. A shower of sparks lands on the arena floor.
A devastating 10 seconds of attack. Wildplow has lost half of its tyres. And suddenly, this fight has turned. And in comes Clank Requiem again. Wildplow trying to get some space, but it's not being allowed any, and it's just dancing and trying to right itself. And now in a dangerous tight area, loses another tyre. It will be retired and flown through the air. Oh, title
Right down the
Wildplow!
arena by the vertical spinner. Clank Requiem, they were playing with Wildplow. They wanted to make the 3-time loser think they had a chance, but they sailed in and swatted them out of the arena in a brilliant fight. This is how it started. We saw Wildplow with some great flips, some real opportunities to secure the KO there in that corner. They came so close with that flip in particular, but once the first wheel left Wildplow, it was more and more after that. Buy one, get one free, until Clank Requiem had taken 4 of them off, and then the whole robot out of the arena.
With that impressive out of the arena shot, Clank Requiem moves on to the quarterfinals. It's time for the last fight of the night, where we will see the number 4 seeded Polis take on the 13th seed Clusterbots of Connection.
The highest non-seeded spinner Polis is not to be messed with. After becoming one of 2 robots to score an out of the arena in the qualifiers, this experienced spinner became a household name overnight. Meanwhile, the Clusterbots team of Connection are worried, and rightfully so. Despite winning their qualifier, the team were up day and night restoring one of the robots who was utterly annihilated by Spinny Boy in the qualifiers, and now the lesser rate is really coming back to bite them. Will Connection pull off the upset? Or will their dreams of the championship go flying out of the arena faster than the robots themselves?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the USA and the Netherlands, it's Connection! In the blue blue square, from Ireland, it's Polis!
So, before I announce my strategy, I'm very proud to present the thousands and thousands of Doyle fans all around the world.
And I'm happy to represent the dozens and baker's dozens of the Jedi's fan. So basically our strategy will be divide and conquer and hope we can get some of those tasty wheels, right?
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so connection is a cluster bot, so each one of those are half the weight that they could be. So that means that we can flip them a lot higher than normal. So we're hoping that even maybe from like near the middle of the arena we'll be able to flip them out. It all depends if we can get under them though. Our flippers seem to be running on lower power last fight. We've seemed to fix that, so we're hoping that we'll be at full power for this fight.
It's the classic tail, the full pressure flipper against the cluster bots. They could swarm that flipper, which can only attack in one direction, but if they fly, they fly.
Fight time once again. Polis had a rather tactical round 1 fight, and it's gonna have something in round 2. Good grief. Well, we thought they would fly, and one half of connection might be disconnected sooner rather than later. Polis is loving life out here early on. Wow.
Now, camera crew, I wouldn't even bother cutting. Let's just use the ceiling cam for the rest of this fight. I think we're gonna need it as connection. It's thrown for the entire duration of the box, narrowly staying in, and gyros themselves over. The other one trying to self-right, but that leaves them open.
Well, I think connection might need to be renamed to Skyscraper by the end of this one, because Polis has been absolutely devastating early on here. The number 4 seed, with reason, and with plenty of height and plenty of power in its attacks, though. Just gotta slow down a bit.
Oh! They keep flipping into the drums, where they can clearly still get underneath if they're able to deliver killer flips like that, and up they go again!
Wow, this has been incredible. Incredible. Flying from Polis, and another one, and that's gone. That's half out. Connection, half gone, half left. Polis closing in. Can it get it, I wonder? Oh my goodness me. Half to go.
And oh, the tension was building up, but there was no flipper in the end. Instead, the floor getting involved to do the dirty work. Connection, they need to keep that drum aimed forwards at all costs, or they're going to land on their teammate, and they have! They've done the double. Polis with the Uta on 2 different cluster bots. That was the most dominant display I think we've seen in this tournament. Not a spinner necessary, just throwing them both out. And we look at the highlights, there's almost too many to include. Look at that sailing shot. Connection didn't know what hit them. They didn't even deliver more than 2 attacks, I don't think. Polis showing that they're the 4th seed for a reason, if not deserving to be higher. Certainly the one thing that went higher was connection. Good grief!
And so, Polis moves on to the quarterfinals, where he will face the number 5 seed Tenderlove. That is set to be an absolute classic. The first night of the round of 16 has come to an end. We've seen Sparks, Tenderlove, Clank Requiem and Polis all move on to the quarterfinals. Join us next time when the round of 16 concludes. From all of us here at BASHBOTS, we thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you all soon, but until then, good night.